while Spain making it this far as a top title favorite is not exactly a major surprise. The sudden rise of the Belgian squad this deep in the tournament is highly intriguing. True, both of these teams had a pretty rough start, but the sheer grit and consistency is what has everyone singing the praises of the Spanish bullfighters. But if you look over at the Belgian chocolate makers, they look a lot more like a wild horse than the unstoppable powerhouse they used to be. Now, they are completely unpredictable, so at 2 a.m. this July 11th, fans will be holding their breath to see which of these giants moves forward. Alongside France, the French squad is highly likely to meet one of these two in a massive semi-final clash. The biggest talking point before kickoff comes down to the stellar defensive run of Spain, going up against an attack that has been firing on all cylinders for Belgium. Through 5 matches in this 2026 World Cup, La Roja has still not conceded even a single goal. Meanwhile, the Red Devils have netted 12 goals in just their last 3 games, proving their offensive power has improved a lot lately. After a pretty slow start to the tournament, this is also a clash between the highly structured and collective style of Luis de la Fuente and the fast-paced approach, relying heavily on individual stars who can spark magic out of nowhere under coach Rudy Garcia. One side values tactical control and patience, solid organization, and strict discipline. The other side thrives on absolute chaos, boasting players who can turn a match on its head in just a single moment of individual brilliance, and this sharp contrast promises to deliver a match that will be remembered of the absolute highest tactical caliber. Honestly, once you make it this far, finding a boring matchup is going to be pretty hard anyway. Looking at the heavy pre-match favorites, Spain rolls into the quarterfinals after an emotional thriller against Portugal in the round of 16. Just as the match seemed destined to drag into extra time, then Michael Merino struck the deciding goal in the 91st minute, sealing a 1-0 victory for La Roja. It was a game where Spain clearly looked far better and fully deserved to move on to the next stage. No arguments there. Yet that win also officially ended the run of his final World Cup in Cristiano Ronaldo's legendary career, while taking Spain one crucial step closer on their long journey toward the World Championship. For the second time in history, cast your mind back 16 years. Spain once had the entire world bowing to their style, that legendary tiki-taka. To conquer South Africa back in 2010, the golden generation of Xavi Hernandez, Andres Iniesta and David Villa wrote one of the most beautiful chapters in football history. Fast forward now to the 2026 World Cup. The way La Roja plays has changed a lot. They no longer rely solely on keeping absolute control of the ball, choosing a much more flexible approach to their play, and yet that familiar DNA of pure teamwork and spirit. Their sharp ball movement and strict tactical discipline is still fiercely preserved as an inseparable part of their identity. Luis de la Fuente's squad is now just 3 wins away from lifting the trophy. Surprisingly, the real key to their deep run is not found in their attacking power, but rather in their incredibly rock-solid defensive line. Throughout this entire tournament, Spain is the only side yet to concede a goal. They have also set a new historic milestone by keeping 6 consecutive clean sheets at the World Cup, breaking the old record held by Italy in 1990 and Switzerland between 2006 and 2010. La Roja's incredible run without conceding a single goal has now reached 609 minutes, stretching all the way back to their Morocco match in 2022. Manager Luis de la Fuente has repeatedly emphasized that this success stems from absolute unity and the selflessness shown by every single player. Every single player is ready to drop back and defend, covering for each other and keeping their shape incredibly tight. This Spanish side does not have to rely solely on desperate saves from their amazing goalkeeper, because right from the start, their defensive system shuts down almost any real chance for the opponent. That shows a pretty terrifying balance in how this clinical Spanish team operates on the pitch. Meanwhile, the Belgium national team booked their spot in the quarterfinals with a 4-1 victory over the US team. This was the exact match that put a massive spotlight on Charles de Ketelaere, as the clinical Atalanta striker bagged an incredible brace, thanks to some highly intelligent runs and lethal, clinical finishing. Hans Vanaken also got himself onto the scoresheet before the powerhouse Romelu Lukaku came charging off the bench and wrapped up the big win with a late stoppage time goal. The crazy part, manager Rudy Garcia kept experimenting and completely shocked everyone with his starting lineup. He chose to leave superstar Kevin De Bruyne, along with Jeremy Doku and Romelu Lukaku on the bench at kickoff. That risky move paid off handsomely, as those hungry young talents injected a brand new wave of energy into Belgium. Of course, despite a massive win over the Americans. But looking at the bigger picture, Belgium's entire run has not really convinced anyone yet, especially when compared to that powerhouse Spain on the other side. They were standing right on the edge of elimination in the last round, struggling just to squeeze past Senegal. This Rudy Garcia squad has shown some pretty serious and worrying signs of real instability, especially when trying to control the game. But that dominant victory over the United States proved that their confidence is slowly starting to return. This new transitional generation of Belgian football is finally starting to click together and showing a lot of positive signs. Compared to their rocky start to the tournament, Belgium's absolute biggest strength right now is their ability to spark moments of individual magic. And De Ketelaere is in peak form. Doku brings terrifying, lethal speed down the wing. Leandro Rosa possesses exceptional technical skills, while Tia Lemons dictates the play in the midfield area. When they need to shift gears, Lukaku and Kevin De Bruyne can both create absolute magic off the bench, or once they step onto the pitch, but their sheer lack of consistency remains the biggest question mark for the Red Devils, as they prepare to battle a team with a defense that is almost completely flawless. Looking at their head-to-head record, Spain also holds a very clear, dominant advantage over their last 8 direct meetings. La Roja walked away with 6 victories, suffering a mere 2 defeats along the way. Their most recent head-to-head battle occurred about 15 years ago, during a friendly international exhibition match, where Spain secured a comfortable 2-0 victory. If we look solely at World Cup matches, their very last encounter on this stage was back in 1990, and Spain walked away with the win, finishing 2-1. These statistics clearly show that the team from the Iberian Peninsula always knows how to overcome Belgium in all of their most critical clashes. As for squad depth, Spain has their absolute strongest squad fully available, now that Lamine Yamal has fully recovered. Luis de la Fuente faces no significant selection issues or losses, giving them a truly massive advantage, as the team is showing incredible stability across every single department. Belgium also has no major selection issues to worrying about, with the only notable absentee being their midfielder, Amadou Onana, who is injured. But honestly, this midfielder has only seen very limited playing time anyway, since the tournament kicked off. Aside from this single absence, their manager Rodriguezia still has all of his key players ready to go to build his strongest possible starting 11. Spain is highly expected to line up in a classic 4-3-1 formation, with Unai Simon guarding the goal. The back four features Pedro Porro at right back, with America Laporte and Paco Bassi forming the center-back partnership, while Macacoria takes charge at left back. The central midfield duo features Rodri and Pedri, with Rodri acting as the ball winner, and Pedri pulling the strings as playmaker. Up front in attack, Alex Pina operates on the left, Dani Olmo plays as attacking midfielder, Lamine Yamal patrols the right wing, with Mikel Oyarzabal as the main striker. The Belgian national team will likely deploy their familiar 4-3-3 setup. In attack, Jeremy Doku starts on the right, Charles de Ketelaere plays up front, while Leandro Rosa controls the left wing. This lineup is packed with raw speed, capable of launching deadly transitions in a flash, the moment they recover the ball. Looking at the big picture, Spain still holds the upper hand. They possess a more balanced squad, with a tactical system that runs smoothly, and especially a defensive line that is playing at near absolute perfection. Keeping 5 consecutive clean sheets so far is the ultimate proof of this team's powerhouse defense. Meanwhile, Belgium scored 12 goals in their last 3 matches, yet they still suffer moments of losing control, relying heavily on the individual inspiration of their talented attacking superstars. The match venue in Inglewood promises to generate a highly charged atmosphere. For this high-stakes quarterfinal clash, the pressure will be immense, as the winner takes one massive step closer to achieving the World Cup dream. Spain carries absolute confidence after knocking out powerhouse Portugal. while Belgium also enters this battle in high spirits. Following their explosive display against the United States, the ultimate key to this matchup lies in whether Belgium's lively attack can penetrate the best defense of the tournament, or not. If the Ketelari, Doku and Trosa can utilize their electric counter-attacking speed, the Red Devils will surely cause problems for La Roja. On the other hand, if Rodri and Pedri, once they lock down the midfield area, and Spain controls the ball like they always do, then any real chance for Belgium is practically non-existent. That is why this match is projected to be incredibly tight, with a fierce tug-of-war for most of the game. Team Spain is highly likely to keep dominating the possession, while Belgium waits patiently for their chance to strike, unleashing the raw speed of their forward line. It is a clash between one team with a red-hot offense against a side that has not conceded a single goal yet. Now all eyes are locked on this battle of pure creative genius versus an absolute brick wall. In football, as the old saying goes, a great attack will win you matches, but a solid defense is what actually delivers the championship trophies for Spain at this 2026 World Cup. That exact philosophy has never been more obvious on the pitch, and that is precisely the reason